Scientists are studying what may be a silver lining that came out of coronavirus lockdowns. As hospitals around the world filled with infections, doctors uncovered a mystery. Premature births were enigmatically disappearing. Several countries have reported big dips in babies being born too early. I'm joined by global correspondent Helena Humphrey from London. Helena, have scientists figured out why?
Hi there, Lindsay. Of course, that is the big question, but great to have some good news coming out of this pandemic. As you mentioned, across a number of countries, a dramatic drop-off in the number of babies being born prematurely under lockdown. It is something that doctors started to observe independently in both Ireland and in Denmark. And if you just take a look at the figures, they are dramatic. So in Denmark, a 91% drop-off there was recorded. That is nationwide compared to the past 5 years. If you take a look at Ireland and the case study out of a hospital in the city of Limerick there, a 73% reduction compared with the past 20 years. Now, those doctors, they asked their colleagues around the world if they've also been observing a similar phenomenon, and their colleagues in the United States, as well as in Australia and the Netherlands, said that they all had been seeing this trend as well. As you mentioned, Lindsay, everybody wants to know why, of course, and doctors say at this stage they can't speculate. But of course, researchers are looking into a number of hypotheses, including the idea that expectant mothers staying at home during lockdown may have been able to get a little bit more rest and sleep. They may then have also had limited exposure, a lessened exposure to contracting a serious infection or illness, which can trigger an early onset of labour, and also that reduction in air pollution as well under lockdown. Now, this is all good news, according to Dr. Michael Christiansen, the Danish researcher currently looking into it, because particularly when it comes to those first two factors, they can be mitigated even after the pandemic. Take a listen to what he told me.
These areas are very interesting because you can do something about them. And that's one of the things that drives us a lot, that we can sort of see the end of the rainbow, where we can see that there might be a pot of gold, meaning that we could reduce the frequency of the extremely preterm births, and thereby reducing mortality and morbidity among children.
Now, one thing we should say is that these findings have yet to be peer-reviewed, but an international study group has been set up to look into the phenomenon, and that is key here, because in the United States, keep in mind, 1 in 10 babies is born prematurely, and according to the CDC, babies born at 32 weeks or under have a higher risk of vision or hearing problems, cerebral palsy, or very sadly, even death as well. So hopefully this is a silver lining and a breakthrough in a relatively poorly understood area of medicine. Lindsay?
All right, NBC's Helena Humphrey in London, where it looks like it's pouring out there. Thank you so much. An upcoming book on Prince Harry and Meghan Markle is